Alrighty.
Your event is starting. I just got a notification. Notification just hit the phone, man. All right, hey everyone. We'll start piling everybody in here and get ready to go on this live stream. I'll tell you, it's been a little different preparing for this one because I actually prepared for it. So, we'll get some folks in here and we will get rolling. I'm trying to find out. I don't know what that was. Your event is starting. I just got a notification. Notification just hit the phone, man. That was. Oh, all right. Hey everyone. We'll start. All right. Can you still hear me?
I can. I can hear you.
Cool. Cool. I can hear you, and I am seeing the countdown to. So here we go. This is awesome.
Can do 77 hear me? That's the real question.
I get to play with it this time. This is gonna be fun, man. I mean, as far as getting it set up, I mean, what do you think? Looking good? Because I think I did okay.
Yeah, I think you did pretty good. Gotta take baby steps to figure it all out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sweet.
Let me get this thing going live. It wasn't synced live on the other one. All right.
Oh, some Tony Stark going on. I think you did okay.
All right, man. What we got in here right now? Let's see. We're starting to get some folks in. I'm not sure how many. Where's my? Trying to figure the management part of this out still. Guys, we got quite a bit of stuff for you tonight. We are talking all over the MCU. I am joined by somebody I've been working with for a very long time, and that is Stack Skills.
30 plus years under the belt.
Yeah, we've been working together. We'd like to say for over 20 years, but we can say over 30 years pretty easily. So we're going to talk a lot about Spider-Man Far From Home starting off, which I hope everyone has seen the trailer. And guys, both trailers actually. We have two separate trailers. The U.S. trailer and the international trailer. Both of them very similar, but slight differences that answer some of a couple questions that are in there. So we're going to be talking about that, guys. We're going to walk all the way through that. We're also going to talk some of the biggest questions coming out of Far From Home, such as what are these characters? What are we looking at? What's the storyline? How do we think it's going to play out? We don't know any more than you guys do. We're no super experts, but we know the MCU. So we are going to talk a lot about that. And guys, the more input we have from you on these theories, the better it will be. We will talk Endgame because Endgame obviously is going to tie straight into Far From Home. How did we get to Far From Home from the snap, where we got Peter Parker looking like a bunch of dust, and talk some of that stuff. And we're going to have some fun with hopefully some fantasy casting. Like, how would you, moving forward, how would you cast some of the future MCU characters, including the Sinister Six? So, did I cover everything? I think that's about all we got.
Yeah, that sounds like pretty good.
A lot, yeah. But I've been playing a lot today, so if you're here, make sure you go ahead and smash the like and subscribe buttons. Get this text us out. Let your friends know where we're at, and we can, like I said, the more people we get in here, the more theories we throw around, the better time we will have. Absolutely. So
we like to hear y'all's theories as well.
Yeah, I actually had in some of my comments this weekend, had a guy pop up and say, it was a video I did about the time stone and whether the time stone was cursed or not. And actually, Stack Skills had left kind of a challenge in the comments saying, hey, I wish somebody would argue with me on this. Well, you got the OG of arguing showed up, and this guy actually came up with one of the theories on Reddit that about, hey, here's my theory, here's my whole 13-point argument. Go read it, and we can discuss it. And we had a really good argument. I say argument, but a really good discussion. Very respectful, and that's the biggest thing that I like to do. I'm not here to put people down. If you have a theory, I want to hear it, because you take from me, I take from you. That's how we learn. And honestly, that's what the fandom is supposed to be for, is for fun. Ultimately, arguing about this stuff is silly, because we're talking about, just put that in context of what you're actually arguing about. But all right, so let's see how many we got in here right now. Anybody? Let's see. Scroll up and see what we got going on here. See 6 in the chat. That's awesome. Howdy, y'all. Hope everybody's having a good evening. Y'all be thinking about Stack Skills. He's coming down with a cold. He's going to fight through this, though, he said.
All day and all night.
I got asked when I was coming up here how long I had 3 bottles of water in my hand when I was walking up to come do this. And my wife looks at me and says, "My goodness, how long is that thing going to be?" And I was like, "We're going to go until we don't anymore." But
my wife said, "Text me if you need water."
Yeah. So
gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah. I did one of these before and didn't have a drink. I started coughing all over myself and everything else. So, all right. So let's go ahead. And let's start talking the Far From Home trailer. Is that cool with you?
That is cool with me.
All right, let's pull this up. The biggest difference in the international trailer and the I guess the national trailer is the
USA trailer.
The USA trailer was this scene right here. And first of all, the trailer blew me away. I was excited about it. I watched it probably 15 times after I finally did my when I finished my holdout, so I could do my reaction video. But so the biggest thing was this, because the first scene in the trailer opens up with him jumping off with the Spider-Man, the red and black Stark Industries suit, right? He's jumping off the building. He's echoing, you said? Let me see if I back my mic away. That might help. Let me know if he's still doing it. I'll push this away a little bit. That might help.
Yeah, I actually love the international trailer, how it started.
I did too. The difference being he opens up the suitcase and it's the, "Hey, you forgot this," right? And I love the how about I have it here? I love this lady. She looks at the suit. Peter Parker looks up. He is freaking out because he can't believe that this is how everybody finds out that he's Spider-Man. And she holds up a banana. She's like, no banana. So that had me. I was like, all right, this is good. But that difference is huge though, because he basically made the conscious decision that he didn't want to do the Spider-Man thing for a little bit. He wanted to take a break, and it goes back to kind of that hole we have right now in the storyline. What happened to Uncle Ben? Because we're going into the second movie, and we know he existed, but that's all we got so far.
I was actually wondering where in London he was going to get a Spider-Man uniform until I saw this trailer, and it was like, oh, it makes complete sense.
Yeah, because it did make sense if he left it hanging up, unless Nick Fury just said, "Hey, I swung by the house and got this for you."
That was one of my thoughts, or Happy Hogan did something.
Yeah. So the next shot is at the fundraiser. At the fundraiser, you have Peter Parker standing up, or actually Spider-Man, and he's doing his double thumbs up. Aunt May is working the what's it called? The homeless shelter, and you see this scene here that's on the picture right now. And the big standout on this was the signature block. I hope everybody caught that. It's a big signature there from Pepper Potts. And some people are saying that this is more evidence that Tony's not there. Hey Maverick, is that echo better? Just to verify.
I know I don't talk much, but I will.
So you got the Pepper Potts signature on there. What do you think? It's Tony Stark's not there, or do you think it's?
I actually didn't even notice that.
She's still heading up a portion of because all the charitable stuff is what she handled for a long time there before.
I would like to think Tony's still around, but seeing that, it makes you think.
Think possibly. I'm leaning that that he's still there, and I think this trailer is one of those ones that's going to intentionally poke us and lead us to believe that he's not. But
this is a tricky trailer in general.
Oh yeah, they got a lot in here that is
a lot of things showing, and then a lot of things also not showing to leave the mind to wonder.
Oh yeah, and how much of it is actually in the movie? So, thanks for the mic check, Maverick. I really appreciate it.
It definitely looks like a really good movie, though. This is one I'm very excited about.
Okay. So that's supposed to be previous him out there, helping raise money. And then you get Happy and Aunt May going back and forth. So that was kind of funny. And I've heard a couple people say that this is evidence that Tony's gone because Happy's hitting on Aunt May. And I would say absolutely not. The two are unrelated. I think Tony's kind of past that point. He's moving on. He is ready to be married to Pepper Potts. I don't think he's looking back at Aunt May.
Have a little Bambino.
Say again?
And have a little Bambino.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, do you think it's evidence or do you think it's not?
I don't know. Tony's always that player style. So the Playboy philanthropist.
Yeah.
So there's no telling.
Let's see. Next, this was I thought a good shot, and him packing up. You notice that it's Uncle Ben's suitcase. It's got his initials there. BFP, I think. Is it F? I can't see it on the. Yeah, BFP.
Yeah.
So I mean, so Uncle Ben does exist in the MCU. I mean, he is there. He does exist, but we're not told. We're still not told what's happening. It's going to drive me nuts.
So what's Uncle Ben's story in this MCU?
Yeah, I mean, because there's so many possibilities there. Because that is the driving force for why Peter Parker feels the need to do good, to be a hero, to use his ability not as to be selfish, but to contribute to others. And so to not have that is kind of, and I understand why they didn't dive right into it since they had just been through another reboot of Spider-Man. But I'm ready for it. Just go ahead and give it to me.
This reboot seems to be coming together a little better.
Yeah. You didn't like The Amazing Spider-Man? It was pretty bad.
I'm more of a Tobey Maguire fan.
Yeah. Did you hear where they've mentioned Tobey Maguire possibly playing Uncle Ben?
Oh, really?
That has been a nice rumor that I would be completely okay with.
I read somewhere that they talked about him like cameoing as a pizza guy or something.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to bring him back. I mean,
he's got to make an appearance and somehow.
Yeah, I mean, he is my generation Spider-Man. I mean, he killed it.
Agreed. Until the third movie.
Until the third movie, I don't think. Yeah, that was let's just do too much. So you still have MJ clowning on him, right?
Yes,
absolutely, just clowning on him. Scene. And then you have right after that scene, you have the arrival of Nick Fury. with his typical "Hello, Spider-Man, nice to finally meet you." You know, he's instantly. What I don't understand is everybody instantly goes to work for Nick Fury. It's never, except for I think Wolverine. It's like, no, I'm good, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm on vacation. It's no, okay, Roger, you're Nick Fury. Here we go. Let's go do Nick Fury things. So
yeah, I really don't know like how Spider-Man didn't know he was in there, or Peter Parker didn't know he was in there.
I thought about this. And I thought about Homecoming. Remember the part where he hops down he comes in the window, and Ned is sitting there holding the Death Star?
Yes.
And he ends up dropping it. It's the same thing. His spider senses should have detected it, right?
Yeah.
I think it's because he didn't pose a threat. Just like Nick Fury didn't pose a threat. Like if he had aimed it at Peter, like spider senses go off and he kind of, ducks, dives, dodges, or whatever, and reacts. But since it doesn't pose a threat to him, it's not setting off anything. I mean, that's the only thing I could figure, because that's 2 times that somebody's gotten the jump on Spider-Man, which is kind of how he stays alive. So
yeah. It is Nick Fury, though. He is.
Unless we're going down like the original Sin storyline, and it's a life model decoy of Nick Fury. So
that's a far stretch, but hey, you never know.
It could. Hey, it's post Endgame, man. I'm not writing anything off.
Oh yeah. So you're saying this is post Endgame?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And that's been a lot of discussion. Both the Kevin Feige and the producer have both come out and said this begins almost immediately after Endgame. So that puts us into a whole nother level of discussion as to how did we get to Far From Home from Endgame.
I don't know if I ever believed these guys, because they said the whole time that the name wasn't dropped.
The name's not Endgame. So
and literally,
well, that was the Russos.
Doctor Strange hooked it up.
That was the Russos. I think the Russos are trolls. And actually, at the time, they said the name of the movie changed like 3 times.
Because people kept ruining it, or just because they wanted to find.
I think just because I think they like to troll people. I
believe it.
I think they get a kick out of watching the internet react. So,
wouldn't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. But the Nick Fury, man, he sticks Ned, tells Spidey what's up, and they're off to the races.
I'm actually very happy to see that they're bringing Nick Fury back, though.
Yeah,
he's been out for quite a few movies now.
Yeah, I mean, in Infinity War, you only saw him for long enough to become vacuum fodder. Yeah. So he was there just long enough to get dusted. Which I was on my buddy had a live stream earlier, the Black Mandalorian, and he was talking about it, and he said one of the best things he could imagine right now. Actually, he didn't say. He just said, "What if?" Or I think somebody in the chat mentioned it. What if at the very beginning of Endgame, the very beginning of Endgame, or the end credits for Captain Marvel, she reaches down, grabs her beeper, and then turns to dust.
Oh, that would be funny.
And then that way they just eliminate the Captain Marvel aspect, and they keep it. And I'm not hating on Captain Marvel in this. I'm just saying, what if it keeps it to the original 6 because that's, you eliminated Black Panther, Spider-Man, all these other ones. You keep it to the original 6. So in the end credit scene from Captain Marvel, she answers the beeper and then gets dusted. I mean, that would be how ironic would it be after all the build-up? I mean, think about it. It gets the hype to go still see that movie because everybody's talking about, hey, you got to go see Endgame. Or got to go see Captain Marvel because it ties in, and then you get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be a good one. That would be crazy.
And it would be them just trolling us even more. All right, so after Nick Fury shows up, we get Spider-Man diving back into action, right? And it's the Stark suit, right? It's the Stark Industries suit. Let's see. And after that, you start getting the shots of the elementals.
Are they the elementals, though?
That is the $1 million question. I think I have a theory on how they're going to tie this together. Mm-hmm. And because if you go check out the origin stories on the elementals, it's so far out in left field that I don't think we could get there from here. It's too crazy. Now, well, am I alone in that? What do you think?
I think it's very possible that it could be a mixture of the elementals with past Spider-Man villains, like Hydra, and instead of Hydra, it is Hydro Man, or actually that's kind of the only one because I think it is Magnum, and I think it is Hellfire instead of Molten Man.
See, I'm thinking the opposite. I'm thinking it is all tied back to Mysterio.
You think it's all an illusion and he's playing everybody?
I think somehow it's going to tie back to the Chitauri technology from New York. I think that's his suit, how he's flying, how he's doing everything he's doing later in the movie. I think it's all going to tie back to Chitauri technology, him taking advantage of it and using what he knows from special effects and amplifying that stuff somehow. So,
okay.
And now I do think they're going to be actual people. Like the guy that is Sandman could end up being Sandman again later in like the Sinister Six movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Molten Man, Hydro Man, and I don't know who the Wind Zephyr I think is the.
That's it. It never showed her, so.
Yeah. So I think there's the. I think it's all going to tie back to Mysterio. Because I think Mysterio is basically he's staging these. He's staging these attacks and these events so that he can come off looking like a hero.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I was reading about that. It looks like he's the hero in this one to start off, and he's definitely manipulating everyone.
And I think that's where the stealth armor comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I think Spider-Man's gonna jump in on the first one. He's gonna jump in. He's gonna save some folks, and that's when Nick Fury is gonna realize who it is, or he's gonna, if he doesn't know already, he figures it out, kind of thing. Follows him, tracks him, whatever. And then you're gonna get the scene where, hey, Spider-Man, we finally meet. He's gonna give him the stealth suit, and he's gonna follow Mysterio, because Nick Fury is just going to be like, this just isn't, something here isn't right. He's either not going to trust Mysterio, or he's going to drop a line like, doesn't it all seem too convenient, something like that. And that's how I could see it going down.
I don't know, maybe Nick Fury's there for a bigger reason though. Maybe it is multiple villains, and
that's true. Yeah, well, I do think I think Mysterio is going to have a team. No, I haven't seen anything from Kevin Feige confirming it was the Elementals.
The only thing I've seen was in IMDb. One of the dudes they have is labeled, his name is Magnum. So that is one of the Elementals.
Right. Okay.
But then also I was reading about it, and his actual name's Dimitri. So that brings in the possibility of the chameleon. And I don't know, it gets very choppy.
Yeah.
I don't know, we're going to have to wait and see what this next trailer holds.
I don't know how much more it'll hold, honestly.
It just threw so much information into, how long was that trailer?
It was almost 2 minutes. I think it was almost 2 minutes. Because it doesn't start until after Nick Fury shows up for real.
Yeah.
I do think it's going to come back to Mysterio. He may have stumbled across something from the Mystic Arts, you know. He may have come across something from one of these Baron Mundo is, you know, whoever he's hunting down. He may have come across something like that.
Well, the Elementals were from the long ago. Before Atlantis and everything, and then they were coming up. They're around Egypt, so that's not too far from London, is it?
No. No, not at all.
Just a couple hundred miles.
Yeah. Oh, so what else we got? That scene right. This the next scene. I think this is actually a combination of Molten Man and the air elemental. Once the picture changes on the feed. Let's see.
Oh, I think that's all. What is it, Cypher?
Cypher, yeah. I think that's going to be your.
You can see it looks like there's a little bitty something to the left of the storm, but you can't really make out what it is. It's not moving. It's just kind of there.
Yeah. But I thought that scene that scene of London Bridge, that's awesome. And then it goes right after that, which is a night scene of either Molten Man or the Fire Elemental. So I'm telling you, just the way his hands look like they're dripping, and I think it's gonna be Molten Man, and the way they've tied them together, I don't know. I don't think it matters. I think it helps if it's not the Elementals, that they could walk away and be villains afterwards.
I think they could still be villains afterwards as well, because apparently Captain Marvel fights with the Elementals.
Yeah, that's.
So could she make an appearance in this?
I don't think so. Well, here's the thing. This would be Spider-Man's first run by himself. You know what I mean?
Very true.
And I think he kind of needs that. Because I was thinking about, if Tony Stark does show up to help, or if another character does show up, I mean, it's kind of taken away again from Spider-Man, which Spider-Man should be a big deal.
Agreed.
So I hope not. I hope they give him his due in this one.
He's still a baby right now, though. So
yeah, that's true. He's still in high school at this point, so we got some way to go.
Yeah, we do. Especially if they're building up for a Sinister Six, then he's going to have his hands full.
Yeah. Let's see.
Apparently, Cypher is known for having to deal with Valkyrie and Thor as well. So I don't know if they could have. I'm just wondering if there's going to be any other kind of cameos.
When I first saw the London Bridge thing, I did think about Thor because the lightning and everything in it. Mm-hmm. But now it's like same thing. I came back to the same thing. It's like, no, they need to let Spider-Man have his movie.
They need to let him do his thing.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe it is tied back through Thor somehow. Maybe that's, since it is mystic arts, and maybe it is tying back to something with those guys. Who knows?
Yeah.
Let's see. What's the next one we got next? Now this next part it goes into where Happy was talking. He's sitting. I mean, if you look, he's sitting in the plane. Which you go back to, they didn't. He was getting on a regular flight to go to London. So now Peter Parker is on a plane with Happy for some reason, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? Right off the bat, in what we know. So we know at some point he's going to be on a plane with Happy, and he's given the speech about, it's you and your friends, you're all alone. What do you do? And I think it's going to be kind of one of those. It's trying to hint that, like, what I think the trailer's trying to do is say that, hey, none of the other heroes are there because of post-Endgame or whatever. I think it's going to be Happy Gilmore. Oh my gosh. I think it's going to be Happy just doing what he does. And he's saying, oh, if you're alone, you and your friends, and a villain shows up, what do you do? And he's going to be like, well, he's like, no, you run. You get out of there, man. You're on vacation. You're not, he's going to kind of be talking the keeping him out of trouble piece.
I thought this was more of a pep talk. Like, you're there with your friends, something happens, you need to stand up and be that person. There's no other hero around to help you. It's just going to be. That's how I've seen it. More of a pep talk.
Has Happy been that guy though? When dealing with Parker,
not really ever, but
yeah,
he could be. This is post Endgame. Like, could be a new Happy.
Yeah, that's true. That or has he got Aunt May in his ear? Telling him, you better not let him get in trouble.
Yeah. Telling him to stick up for himself. Stick up for all his friends.
Maybe. Now, here's the next scene I thought was interesting. And that was random dudes walking into a restaurant and shooting the place up. I'm trying to figure out, I mean, if you're looking at the IMDb, it lists, mob boss, mob boss, mob boss, mob boss. But what's going on here? What I've got elementals and mob bosses. So
elementals, mob bosses, and Mysterio all in the mix.
And so I'm trying to link these guys in my head back to a Mysterio, to somebody, and right now I'm drawing a big blank on it as far as how I can do that.
I am as well. I'm wondering if any of the crowd has any ideas of why they would be in the mix.
Yeah. At first I thought that this might be the homeless fundraiser event. At first, but it doesn't look like the same building when you look at it. So I don't know. I'm at law. Who knows?
Is this America or is this London?
I don't know.
We don't know that answer either.
Yeah. So the next shot we got was the first shot of the stealth suit, and I think it looks awesome. I mean, but I put this one up that's it should be coming up right about now. I don't know why it takes so long to update, but it does.
Where is he at?
He's down in the corner, but look behind him.
Oh, that's what I was looking. I was like, where is he at in the world?
I don't know where he's at. The sign back there says something about a festival or a carnival, and it looks like up above him, it looks like a ride.
Yeah, it looks like a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, so
a Ferris wheel.
So that could be London. I mean, it could be just about anywhere in Europe. But I just noticed that I could imagine like a Hall of Mirrors kind of thing going on with Mysterio.
That would be a very cool scene.
And really just him just messing and letting him find out that Spider-Man is very reliant on his senses, and then just messing him up with that. And it makes me think back to the Old Man Logan storyline, where Mysterio was the one that was able to defeat the X-Men because of what he did to Wolverine. So it just kind of made me, is this something where he's going to play, especially somewhere like a carnival where you have all this stuff moving around, loud noises, all this stuff. Is it something that he's going to play to his advantage against Spider-Man? So it's pretty cool, though. And then the suit itself looks, it looks like they tried to black out the shield emblem on it. And you definitely notice the, it looks good. It is a good looking suit. But you definitely have, looks like Nick Fury and probably Maria Hill. You got some shield type black vehicles in the background there.
Got some shield backup.
I'm looking at the guy standing by the car right now, and I can't see if it's Nick Fury or not. But
I can't either. Can't tell if he has an eye patch on or
not. The next shot, we kind of went into this quite a bit already, is Hydra Man. He looked good. I mean, the CGI on that looked amazing. Him coming up, the way when he formed and he came up and he grabbed the underside of the bridge and pulled himself up, I thought that looked really, really, really good. And I like what they're doing with the monsters or the elementals or whatever we're calling them.
Yeah, I do as well. I thought that looked very good. From looking through things, I think that's going to be played by like Remy High. He's known for like Marco Polo and Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, I saw where him and another guy didn't have. They were on there, but they weren't mentioned as what they were playing.
Mm-hmm.
The other dude was I forgot his name.
JB Smoot.
Guy from Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, JB Smoot. JB Smoot.
Yeah. So,
I didn't know if he'd be one of the characters or what's the news reporter dude? Jonah Jameson.
Jonah Jameson. J. Jonah Jameson. Yeah, that could be true. That could be.
It could possibly be him as well.
Yeah,
he's an older dude.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really see him. I don't know. I'd see him as that instead of coming through as a villain, honestly.
Right.
But then look at Michael Keaton. Like, what is he? 60?
Yeah. After that, we got the big Mysterio reveal. Him appearing in a cloud of green smoke, telling him you don't want any of this.
I think they did really good picking.
They nailed it.
Yeah.
They nailed it. And I tried to.
He looks amazing right there. And then, like, when you see him start flying around with his fishbowl helmet on, you're just like, dude.
When I saw the fishbowl, I was fired up. I'd heard they were doing it, but when I saw it, it looked really good. It looked right out of the comics. It was fabulous.
I'm loving how this side of the MCU is pulling stuff straight out of the comics and making them look like they're supposed to.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're having their own stories, kind of. They're twisting things, but they're making everybody look amazing.
Yeah, it goes back to Aquaman. You thought Aquaman stepping out in the gold suit would look retarded, but it's from the there's that homage that's paid to the original story, and that matters.
I like how they're showing respect, basically, to the old school ways.
I pulled this up, this shot, because you can see the mystic arts kind of things, the triangles. But you also look at his hands, and there's like some kind of, I don't know if it's like little projector looking something. I may be making it up. But something about the light there looks a little strange to me. It could be that I really just want to find something that nobody else has seen yet.
Yeah, I think you're looking pretty deep into that one.
Yeah.
But you don't know who he's talking to right there.
Yeah.
It shows Peter Parker and then him saying you don't want no part of this. But like looks at it like it's completely two different places. So
yeah, well, I think Hydra Man happened. I think this battle right here happens right after Spider-Man gets whacked.
I believe so too.
Hey, Marvel Me This, how are you, man? Awesome.
You go back and look at the first one of Mysterio standing there. It looks like he's in some kind of older war down Coliseum or something. You can't really tell.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it'd be right there by the bridge or any of that stuff.
You talk about where he gets hit by...
Yeah, it looks like Peter Parker gets hit by Hydra Man on the bridge. But then it's showing Mysterio. Where he's standing, it's not where that's taking place.
Yeah, it's got all that damage behind it, though. I wonder if that's him fighting Sandman instead.
Yeah, that could be that. I don't know. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that could be him fighting Sandman. Him swooping in, saving
Nick Fury and Maria Hill.
Yeah, saving Nick Fury, saving Maria Hill, and then Nick Fury just hitting his "I don't trust you" button.
And I'm just gonna call that person Magnum. I don't think it's Sandman. He's too chunky.
He's ripped, man. Just give him a break.
Too many rocks in him to be Sandman.
Yeah. So I do have to complain about the stateside trailer, and I love the last scene where Flash Thompson was talking about, when the guy makes the comment, he's no Thor, he's no Iron Man, or he's like Thor and Iron Man wrapped up into one, I think is the comment. Yeah. And Flash Thompson goes, he's no Spider-Man. And that was all well and good. I really liked that part up until they had to in the stateside trailer they dropped basically curse words that I was like, oh come on, it was unnecessary. And especially in my opinion when this is going to get marketed to kids, there's going to be all kinds of Spider-Man toys. Every kid is going to want to go see this movie, and I kind of cringed on it. In the international trailer, he calls him a dork or something like that. But,
loser, I think.
Yeah. So that kind of bothered me. I don't understand why in these movies they can't keep them clean enough to where the only thing I have to worry about is the fantasized fights between superheroes. I can get by most of that. I can say, you know what, that's, little boys grow up to slay dragons, And honestly, I say little boys, but my little girl, every time we're playing around the house, she's like, I'm Iron Man. I'm Iron Man. So, I mean, that's, kids love these things, and then something like that just makes you not want to, you can't really take them to go see it yet until they're older. And that bums me out. But that's probably enough of me preaching on that. But other than that, the international one I thought was funny. I mean, the scene itself is funny because it's staying true to Flash Thompson, where he hates Peter Parker but loves Spider-Man. So that's that was it for the trailer, man. Would y'all? So overall, what did you come away from this thinking?
Me?
Yeah.
Me or the crowd?
Anybody. You can start, but what did you...
Oh, I think this is going to be a great movie setting up for definitely the next stage in Marvel movies. It's got more Spider-Man to come, more villains to come out of it, and I don't know where else they're going to go. But they're going to keep on bringing them.
I'm trying to turn off the darn. Where'd it go? Where's my Far From Home slash? Yeah, there. Cut that off. All right. So far so good. We're your throat holding out, man.
Yeah, I'm good. Are you wanting to jump into possibly the future of a Sinister Six?
I'm actually. Why don't we try to figure out how do you get to Far From Home from Endgame? How do you make that leap?
Time travel.
Time travel. I think time travel is a real possibility. Or are we looking at a universe that was split? It's just, the guy. I mean, because nobody that we saw survive or that didn't turn to dust was in that movie. So, are they going on like the other half of the universe was dusted? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Interesting. I haven't even looked up many theories on Far From Home yet.
I'm trying to piece it together, and I really don't know at this point how you get from Dustpan Peter Parker to Far From Home. But I mean, I think that's maybe that's the beauty of Endgame is we're going to walk in not knowing, and when we do get there, it's going to be awesome.
Well, whatever could happen, like if it is time travel, whatever happens, Spider-Man might not even have been part of it. It might go far enough back that a lot of things are corrected. A lot of people didn't die. A lot of people didn't see a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, one of the theories is that Peter Parker never gets off the bus. Like Far From Home is going to start with the end of their field trip that he was on when he jumped out and swung off the bridge and went to help Iron Man and Doctor Strange. So, but
do you know where they were going on that bus?
It was they were either coming back or going to. It was a local place. It wasn't the airport.
Yeah, I actually only know because I watched Infinity War earlier today.
Where were they going?
They told Tony that they were going to MoMA, Museum of Modern Arts.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And then that was the first I heard about the. Well, I had read that something that Peter Parker never got off the bus, but then I was like, wait, they weren't even going to London then. So
yeah,
I think that one's kind of a whatever theory.
Yeah.
It's like the time stone theory, but don't get me started on that one.
Yeah, I'm still not buying that the time stone's cursed. I've read it. I've chatted with the feller, and I'm not buying it.
I forgot all about it. I should have went and read it today.
It's pretty good. It's well thought out. I just ultimately on stuff like that, you get to a point where you just tell somebody, hey, that's not where I think they're going with this.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's kind of how I feel on it. I don't think that's the. He agreed that it's not a time loop. We're not doing a time loop. And to do a time loop after we did it in
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, why would we do it again, kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
So,
with there being possible time travel, though, like what all characters do you see coming back?
Oh, I see everybody coming back, just about, except for maybe Gamora. But I mean, if it's a time travel movie, everybody's back on the table. I think when they're sitting there coming up with their plan, they identify specific places they have to be, and they can save Gamora. I mean, imagine a scene where it cuts back to Thanos going to throw Gamora off the cliff. He tosses her, and suddenly he's attacked by the Avengers, and Star-Lord comes flying back up, holding her, and puts her back up there because they knew that's where he was going to be. I mean, Captain America showing up before Thanos does at Volmir and running into the Red Skull. I mean, who knows? I've said several times, I think it's going to be a combination of the Italian Job and Back to the Future, and that's how they're going to get the stones. I hope it's not. They may be traveling into a different universe to do it. I hope not, but hey, awesome! We picked up a subscriber, so thank you to whoever subscribed, man. I'll put this one up there for you. Where'd it go? Right there. Awesome, thank you. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll keep trying to have fun and do this stuff, man. So going back to the alternate universe thing, that creates a lot of problems if they do that. I mean, it honestly does. But what it can do is it's how you can introduce the X-Men easily.
Yeah.
So, and you get into an event. I forgot what they called them, where the universes collided, the realities collided. In not Secret Wars. Was it Secret Wars? That was the second. No. What event was that? Not Secret Wars 2, was it? Yeah, Secret Wars 2.
Do you really want to mix these X-Men though with?
No. I think we agree. If we're doing the X-Men, we clear the table.
Can we go back to the original X-Men? I kind of like them if they fix Rogue, but.
Oh yeah, Let's. I mean, you have the opportunity to fix Rogue too because you got Captain Marvel now. You can do Rogue completely different, and it could actually be the Rogue that we think of as far as
the cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you think of Rogue, that's the one that pops in everybody's head is the animated X-Men cartoon back in the day.
Yep.
They could absolutely do that with Captain Marvel now in the picture. You know what? To heck with it. Let's just the next X-Men movie just needs to be live action animated series.
Yeah.
Take the animated series, make it live action, and you would have a better movie than you did versus X-Men Apocalypse.
Fact.
So
the best part of that movie was when they walked in at the end to get a sample of, I think it was Wolverine's blood or something.
Yeah.
And it was Essex Corp.
They're
going to bring Mr. Sinister in.
Well,
let's hope they ruin him like they ruined Apocalypse.
Well, if you're being honest about Mr. Sinister, who was epic back in the 90s, through the Executioner song series and all that stuff, with Strife and that whole storyline, he was awesome. They've recently ruined him in X-Men comics. So.
Oh, have they really?
Yes, they've turned him to little. I don't know. It's not good. But
that's sad. They're just ruining all the X-Men.
They're trying. Cable killed Cable recently. There's all kinds of mess going on. So our biggest questions we've said coming out of Far From Home is Mysterio. What's his background, right? It's Chari Tech or Mystic Art stuff. So we're talking that. We've talked that. Is it elementals or is it special effects or some kind of mix? And what's up with Tony Stark? Why haven't we seen him? Are we going to see him? Where's the Iron Spider suit? If Endgame happened, or if Infinity War happened, where he had the Iron Spider suit, now he's back to the Stark Industries suit. What's up with that? So, hey, Black Mandalorian's here, guys. Howdy, brother. Hope you're doing good. We got done just going through Far From Home, man, and we broke that down like you wouldn't believe. So, we now kind of about to go into. You ready to talk Sinister Six?
Oh, I'm definitely down to talk Sinister Six.
All right, so guys, we definitely want y'all hopping in on this because we're talking fan casting the Sinister Six because everybody loves Sinister Six. It's got to be, it's somewhere they're heading, and I can't wait to see it, and it's going to be fun. So we already know we got the Vulture, which is Michael Keaton. We got Mysterio, which is Jake Gyllenhaal. They got Scorpion, which, include him or don't include him, but he's probably going to be in the mix, and that's how do you pronounce the name? Michael Mando? Mando.
I think it's Mondo. Michael Mondo.
You
got Stalker.
Yeah, if he's
Avengers
coming back.
4 could bring him back.
Could, yeah. I don't know though. I mean, it could, absolutely could. I mean, he threw it to somebody else afterwards, didn't he? Said, yeah, the bus dude.
Yeah.
The dude that Ned stuck to the bus or whatever.
Yeah, so there could be
he could be back.
Third or fourth Shocker now.
Yeah. So let's look at the guys we haven't got cast. The probably one of the ones that's going to be the most fun is Norman Osborn.
Oh, good old Hobgoblin.
Yeah. Well, you have to have Norman Osborn before you have the other Osborn, Harry Osborn.
That includes Scorpion. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm behind. Sorry.
So, yeah, definitely include the Scorpion. Yeah, I think he's coming. He's there. He's there threatening Michael Keaton in prison. For Norman Osborn, I'm gonna throw some names out there. I'll throw the first name out there because I think this one will be fun. We talked about it earlier when it came to Uncle Ben. What if they dropped Tobey Maguire in as Norman Osborn?
No way. I don't. No.
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 Absolutely not.
I honestly love Willem Dafoe as Hobgoblin.
Oh, I loved him. I think they have to steer clear of recasting those dudes, though.
Agreed.
Well, let's go up that path. What about James Franco, not as Harry, but as Norman?
I can see that.
Hey, Mad Max, how are you this evening? We're talking Sinister Six right now, and just throwing around some crazy ideas for casting of Norman Osborn. So far, we've got Tobey Maguire, which got shot down pretty quick, and then throughout James Franco not doing Harry this time, doing Norman, which could be neat.
It would be neat, but I don't think they would do it. They're going to bring in a new, fresh older man, probably.
And when so, I think
I
Mad
agree
Max is right. I think James Franco would be great. Everybody goes and does the Google thing on it, right? Well, let me throw one out that I came across because this guy does everything well. What if you threw Denzel Washington in there?
That's not a Denzel role. I just don't see it.
Denzel can do any role, man.
Denzel's never a villain, though. He's never a bad guy.
That's why it would be good. Wait, hold up. Have you not seen Training Day?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I think Bruce Greenwood would be a good Hobgoblin.
I don't know who's that. What's he play?
He's in the new Star Trek movies.
Oh.
Look him up if you have to.
I'll have to.
He just looks like he could be a good Hobgoblin to me. I just rolled around looking at people's faces and placing them on characters.
Yeah. There's been a lot of scuttlebutt about Matthew McConaughey.
I picture him being an Adam Warlock, if anything.
I'll tip my hat to that. That's a good one.
You just have to beef up a little bit, which I think he could do because he's Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, what was that movie he was in with the dragons? Reign of Fire?
Yeah.
Back in the day, he was a beast in that one. But let's see.
I don't know if there's anything you know this guy from.
I got two more on my list that were on some of the other lists, and I don't like them. I would like to see one of them do a bad guy, do a villain, but the other one I don't want in the MCU. Christopher Walken in any role in the MCU, yes, why not? I mean, he could. Man, where would you cast Christopher Walken if you could pick anything for him? I don't know if I want him. I don't know if I want him as Norman Osborn, but that would be good.
I could actually see him pull off a Norman Osborn.
Yeah, I mean, he's crazy enough.
Yes, he is.
Man, is he still getting around good? Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott's got to be a good guy. I can't see Sam Elliott I can't see Sam Elliott doing anything bad.
What was the last thing Christopher Walken was even in?
I don't know, honestly. I'd have to hop on some IMDb and find that out. Okay, I'm going to throw somebody out there. I'm going to throw two names. One of them I don't want in the MCU, and the other one I want to see as a bad guy. Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise. I want to see Tom Hanks as a bad guy. Maybe not Norman Osborn, but I want to see him as a bad guy doing something.
I have a whole list of bad guys here, and I don't think I can slide Tom Hanks into any of those roles.
That's a good point. Mad Max mentions the Collector. He would have been really good as the Collector rather than what's his name?
Benicio del Toro. No Tom Cruise ever. I
agree. Oh man.
Probably make his way in eventually.
I'm gonna put this clip up because it basically summarizes my attempt here. You guys fixing me. There's such a lag time between where I hit the button and I have to wait for it to pop up on the screen, on the actual stream. But yeah, when it hits, it's gonna be worth it.
So what do you see Tom Hanks being? You said you want him in a role. Like, what do you want?
I don't care. I don't know. I could see him somewhere in the Elementals, or not the Elementals. I'm sorry, the Eternals. I just don't know where.
That GIF is perfect.
So there are those good actors that were thrown out there, like a Tom Hanks, or that's me right there. That's you guys playing Star-Lord, me as Iron Man, and just getting told my ideas suck. So,
sometimes you gotta slap people with the truth.
Yeah, you guys hit me with the truthiness. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think on it more.
I will ponder this for a very long time.
Me too. I don't know. I don't know if I like the who they picked for Carnage. What's his
Harrelson.
name? He looks crazy. I'll give him that. Maybe Tom Hanks does Star Fox. Thanos' brother, Eros. He's gonna have to be younger. I don't know. You know what? I listened to a video not too long ago how basically his role as in the Mission Impossible movies is basically Captain America. I mean, he is everything action guy.
Might as well pull Jackie Chan in the mix then.
Jackie Chan?
Yeah, go ahead and give him a role.
Why not? I don't know. If you bring Wolverine in and you follow the Japanese storyline of him going to Japan, and I mean you could bring in a lot. I mean, heck, there's still the Mandarin out there. I almost said Mandalorian. There's still the Mandarin out there.
I don't know if I like Woody as Carnage either. We'll have to see how it does.
I know.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the whole post-credit scene that they put together. Like that just.
I agree. It was so clunky.
Yeah. Ice Cube as Luke Cage.
Hey, why not? I could see that.
I like the dude who plays Luke Cage. I think he's awesome.
They did do a good job casting the guy for Luke Cage in the Netflix series. He looks the part. I mean,
I think they cast everyone in Netflix well.
They did. They've done really good over there. It's let's see.
I like Woody as Carnage, but that wig was terrible.
That wig was so bad. I wish they would have honestly done just like a background scene, like if you just seen like serial killer Cletus Cassidy arrested, responsible for over 78 murder or at least 78 murders or something like that. Just a background thing or something, and then just have that as the lead in. Don't make it necessarily what they did where they're actually meeting, because now it just seems like next time it's going to be weird. You know what I mean? It's like, oh hey, you're back. We meet again. I don't know.
Yeah, I wanted to see like a symbiote or something from the huge fight, like worming on into like a prison cell or something. That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah. I think
You think?
I got somebody texting me and I was like, oh hey, the thing on the symbiotes, see, something. If anything, something should have happened during that initial visit where he's there and he attacks him or something, cuts him, and some of the symbiote gets left behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that little bit of the symbiote ends up left behind, and since it's afraid it's going to die, it goes into Carnage. or goes into Cletus Cassidy where he's cut himself and everything. It actually goes inside him and merges with his blood. Because that was why Carnage was so much stronger. Was he wasn't it wasn't just a surface binding. It was an internal binding as well. He was all the way merged with the guy with Cletus Cassidy. So and Carnage was a Venom spinoff, or not spinoff, but it came from the Venom symbiote. It was a portion of it that left. So I think that would have been a better tie-in than what we got. Like I said, it just felt rushed and clunky, and I wish they would have spent maybe 15, 16 more minutes shopping for a better wig. But Iron Fist casting was terrible. I didn't watch Iron Fist.
The first season was horrible.
That bad?
Yeah.
I've heard everybody clown on him, saying it's like it was bad. It was just he was like one of the worst actors ever to grace anything with Marvel on it.
I think just how they did the whole first season was terrible. That's the only way to put it. Like, the action wasn't that good. The acting in general wasn't impressive. Like, the whole thing was just whack. Oh, that was the same dude from Game of Thrones? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I don't. Let's see. All right.
Sinister Six casting.
All right. What about Kraven the Hunter?
I got two names.
I've got three.
One dude I could see playing this role.
Who dat?
I don't even know how to say his last name. Joe Manganiello.
I saw him when I was looking around.
The dude he's off True Blood, and he's off, what's that other movie? The male stripper movie. I can't even think of it now.
Magic Mike.
Magic Mike, yeah.
I'm sorry that I know that.
The only person I could see is Kraven.
I got a couple that I liked.
All right, what do you got?
Gerard Butler.
Okay. He was
Yeah. I got one that I wrote down because I was like, I can see it, but then I see what he did to Apocalypse, and so I think no, and that's Oscar Isaac.
Okay, yeah.
And then my last one, for Kraven, if you throw a beard on this guy, what if you did The Rock? What if Dwayne Johnson was Kraven?
I don't see it. I just can't.
Can't do it?
Does The Rock even do facial hair?
Yeah. I think he did in one movie.
I think he did as well. I also have Manu Bennett.
Arnold.
Huh? It's Arnold?
Arnold for any role, anywhere, anytime. You know somebody who I see jumping into to movies really soon? He's in big with these guys. He hangs. I mean, him and Arnold are buddies. I see J.J. Watt making that jump. I think he's smart enough where he's not going to play football forever, and he knows that. And I could see him jumping on a similar movie route as Arnold.
I can see that happening probably in the next 2 to 3 years.
I mean, he's a beast.
Sooner.
Well, I think being that as big as they are, though, it kind of eliminates them from some roles. Because a lot of those dudes are like little bitty, like 5'3" dudes. Like Tom Cruise is, like knee high to a grasshopper or something. He's not big at all. So, and a lot of them are that way. Like they're around 5'6". So, J.J. Watt being like 6'4" or whatever, that's kind of maybe hurt him.
Mm-hmm. You never saw Spartacus either, did you?
No.
Yeah, my second guy is Manu Bennett, who played Quixus in Spartacus. You throw a beard on him, he looks like he could pull off a Craven.
You know who's been trying to get some love from the MCU lately? John Cena. Since we've mentioned The Rock, and I'm kind of hitting on some other.
He's on my list, and do you want to take a guess of what character?
They need some swole French guy to play Craven. Do they have swole Frenchmen anymore?
I don't know.
I don't.
All they do is lose wars.
I agree. It would help if, like I said, I put I haven't seen Spartacus. I haven't seen Spartacus. I don't watch Game of Thrones. I'm a PG, and if I get really edgy, I'll throw a PG-13 movie in kind of guy. So Cena was good in Bumblebee. Yeah, if I was going to guess, that's what I was going to guess is Rhino. So.
He's one of my Sandman characters.
That's the.
Throw him with that high top haircut and let him rock.
That's the look that Sandman's always had, is that high top.
Yep. I think John Cena could pull that one off. What kind of nerd
are you? Everybody in the chat acting like I'm just like you can leave now. Everybody in here just ripping on me. It's all good, brother. I'm sure Loki's got something to say about that. Just wait for it. It's coming. Who would you put it in for the Rhino instead? I mean, John Cena. That's everybody treating me right now.
I don't know. I didn't even write people down for Rhino. I didn't, since they already cast him. I didn't see him recasting him. I just don't see him making it in the upcoming Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. That's probably true. He was in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, so it's kind of, do they want to bring him back up? The Rock, yeah, The Rock could do Rhino as well. I mean,
who's that? Oh, The Rock.
Yeah, throw Dwayne Johnson in there. He'd kill it.
Or Brock Lesnar.
What? Let's see.
Buff dudes in general. Yep.
I'm going off on like Hulk guys. I was thinking about Absorbing Man all of a sudden. That he would be a good one. Throw the Wrecking Crew out there. I don't know. What about the big one? What about Doc Ock? Who do you cast for Dr. Octopus? I've got two. It's a short list, but I think both of them would be money.
Is one of them Dwight Schrute?
One of them is Dwight Schrute. Absolutely. Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is definitely it's gone down the memory hole. I'm not gonna waste time going back and watching that one. They missed Peter Parker. They didn't get it. When I first watched it, me and my wife were both just like, they overblew his arrogance. You know, Spider-Man was always a smart aleck, but I don't know. He just didn't work. He wasn't a jerk. I mean, he would rip on people while he was kicking their tail, but he wasn't a jerk about it. And especially to other people. When he was in just straight Peter Parker, as Spider-Man, he was a smart aleck. I mean, he would run his mouth. But as Peter Parker, he wasn't. I feel like they missed that completely. All right, so my two, Leonardo DiCaprio for Doc Ock.
in any role.
What about Mark Hamill as Doc Ock?
I think he'd play a pretty good Doc Ock.
But I got him for 2 roles, either or. That or the Lizard, because he does great voice acting. He has the Joker for
he does all sorts of voices.
He does more voice acting than I think he does regular acting nowadays. So what if he did something like the Lizard, where he was basically a CGI character, where he didn't have to do all the actual acting part. I mean, that might be down for him. So yeah, Mark Hamill. Or is it Rainn Wilson? Is it Rainn Wilson?
Rainn.
Yeah.
I have Michael Shannon on my list. The dude who played General Zod.
Yeah.
I think he'd also make a good Doc Ock.
He would. Yeah, he was. You know.
And I don't mind mixing. I don't mind pulling people from the DC to come play Marvel.
Oh no. Based off of from last week's live stream, I'm hesitant to say anything about Aquaman.
Why's that?
Because I got ripped on pretty hard because It's basically said, hey, he's a good Jason. Was it Jason Momoa? Jason?
Yeah, Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
he's super stunning looking man.
If you're pulling people from DC, man, he would be he would kill it as Kraven.
True, but he is DC right now.
Yeah. He's carrying he's got the rucksack, man. He's carrying it all. Him playing I don't know how that Joker movie's going to go. I've heard some rumblings that it's going to be. I don't know. I'm more excited about that than a lot of movies, but. I don't know. I wouldn't want to reprise that. I wouldn't want to be the next guy up for that role. You know what I mean? After the Dark Knight, I wouldn't want to say, yeah, I could beat that.
Oh, Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger killed it. You can't top it.
I totally agree.
Aquaman was fun. Aquaman was a really fun movie. That is a good way to describe it. And I was mad at DC, the rest of the DC universe after watching Aquaman, because this is what this could have been, and you guys had to go play games. You go back to Man of Steel. I didn't think that movie was bad.
No, I really like that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they rushed everything.
Everything after that was rushed.
Yeah, I mean, they felt like, Marvel's putting out this Civil War, or they got wind that they were doing Civil War. They're like, well, let's beat them with Superman versus Batman, and that didn't work because, what if they had laid it out like the MCU did? What if we'd have had the Aquaman movie? What if we had, which I know it's not set before. It's set after Justice League, but that was like one line that basically led you down that path. So what if we introduced all the characters before the Justice League movie? I think it would have been a much better if they'd just taken their time with it, had a plan rather than rushing through it as a cash grab.
I like all the people. Well, I don't really like Flash. The funny thing is, I like Flash, but I don't like how they're portraying him in DC.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common. That's pretty cool. I remember listening to a interview with Stan Lee where he was making fun of DC, and what he said was, what we'll do is we will go out, and he's like, for instance, we'll take, we'll put a lot of red on all our covers. On all our covers this next couple months, we're going to have a lot of red, and they would notice, and they would wait, and they would watch until DC started doing the same thing, and they would change it. They would be like, no red, switch to blue, or the talking bubbles, they'd be like, none on the cover. And then they'd watch DC do the same thing, and then Marvel would switch, and DC would again play catch up. It was funny. He just clowned with them. They've always been that way, in my opinion. The best stuff DC puts out is when they stop trying to be Marvel and they just embrace, their characters.
Yeah. Speaking of Stan Lee, do you see them putting him in Far From Home at all? Or?
I don't know if his Far From Home cameo was filmed or not. I know I was told his Endgame one and Captain Marvel one, I believe, were both filmed. I don't know about the Far From Home one. So, I'll tell you what. When I went to go see, was it Spider-Verse? I went to go see after he passed. I about started cheering when I saw saw him on it. It's just, I don't know.
Is there an animated Stan Lee in it?
Yeah. There is. Spider-Verse was pretty good. I did enjoy that movie. About 98% of it. A lot of people will say that they don't like Miles Morales for whatever reason. I think as far as any character that's come up from the in the shadows of another hero, I think Miles Morales is one they've done really well with. I think they've built him as a character a lot better than some of the other ones. So the thing I didn't like on it was like the last few seconds where suddenly the strength of believing in myself makes me, anytime that I don't know, it just got under my. It didn't ruin the movie for me, but I was like, oh, come on, Yeah, I mean, I walked out of it thinking, that was a really good movie, but you haven't seen it, have you?
I have not.
Oh, so I'll.
I haven't been to the movies in a while.
Yeah. At least since your daughter was born.
Correct.
Oh, yeah. If I go to the movies now, it's usually at like the 10 p.m. showing, and it's like me and 3 other shady looking people in the theater.
Yeah, I'm in bed by 8:30 every night, so.
Oh man.
Tonight's a special night.
A special occasion.
Yep.
Yeah, it is a little bit of the trope of the genre. It is. I mean, you just you accept that. Yeah, you win. I'll give you that. It's good, man. If you should go check it out, man. It's worth seeing. I think we're supposed to get a new Endgame trailer. I've heard possibly during the Super Bowl. So that's only 2 weeks away, or is it 3? 3 weeks.
What was the day?
I think it's the 4th, isn't it?
Heck, I don't know what today's date is.
19th. So yeah, it's on the 3rd. So
2 and some change.
Yeah. So we should get a new in-game trailer then. Is the rumor. Possibly a Star Wars trailer, or at least a teaser. Because I mean, it's 2019, darn it, and I'm expecting episode 9 in December on December 20th. So I'm ready for my teaser, darn it. Give me something.
You think Wolverine or Deadpool's gonna show up in Endgame?
I don't know. If anything, I hope it's just a end credit scene, maybe.
Yeah.
I said in one of my videos before, I thought like an awesome end credit scene would be you're kind of got the African safari kind of or the savannah look, and you have a girl stepping out of a building, and she looks out, and you just kind of see like clouds kind of slowly coming over the mountain range, and you can just see lightning run across her fingertips. I mean, you just see her from behind. You don't even have to see her up front, and it just leaves with that electricity going across her fingers, and just you don't necessarily have to tease Wolverine or Professor X or any of those. Like, just tease Storm. That would be awesome. Just knowing she was out there, and she can make an appearance in Black Panther too. The Fox deal isn't done. It was supposed to be getting finalized in sometime in January. Was the last I heard. That's why I think if he's going to be in the movie at all, it's got to be just an end credit scene. I don't think we really see them in action until probably 21, 22. So how's it even possible? Yeah, exactly. Now it is supposed to be done soon. I think was it. I've been trying to keep up on it, but I lost the bubble on it there after a little bit. When is Black Panther 2 2020? I think it's early. I think it's February 2020 when that's supposed to come out. I'm looking forward to that one. Where they go with Wakanda, because who's the new villain? Are we going to see? It's got to move into T'Challa as handling the kingdom. You know, it can't just be him going out doing crazy Black Panther stuff. He's the king now. I'd like to see it come in conflict with Namor and the Atlanteans. But I think Marvel, because what we were talking about earlier, how DC copies Marvel. I think Marvel, because of the success of Aquaman, may actually back off of a Namor movie or introducing him, because they don't want to get that copycat mentality. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree with it. They'll probably hold off for a while.
I mean, because he's a great character. It brings so much, and they've actually identified. What movie was it? I think it was Winter Soldier. There's an Easter egg in the background. It's got symbols on a bunch of different locations, and one of them was Wakanda. But there's another one out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean or Atlantic Ocean, and of course that's where you're thinking Atlantis would be. Crazy how Namor is near top 10 but gets so disrespected. He is. He's awesome. But he just he's so I don't know how to really say it. It is Age of Ultron, you're right. When they're showing the map. But what was it? Namor brings a lot more storylines because you can get that conflict between nations. Doctor Doom does the same thing, which we talked last week. We talked a little bit about Doctor Doom and how to introduce him, and I think the Russos have talked about doing Secret War. Which, if you want to do Secret War, Thanks, bro. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. You never know when I have the little ones running around. I try to PG it up. I know. It's cool. The with Doctor Doom, I mean, if you're doing Secret Wars, you got to have Doctor Doom. You got to have Galactus. Who the Fantastic Four are in it, but they're not imperative. Spidey actually gets his symbiote there. That's Venom's first actual appearances in, or the Black Suit's first appearance, I should say, is in Secret War. I mean, Secret War's a good storyline, but they're missing a lot of critical pieces, and I don't think they have the roster yet for it.
I don't think they got a lot of missing pieces, and it would take a while to put it together, but it could still happen.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot of things planned over the next few years.
So one of the rumors is that there's another, and this could possibly tie into Secret Wars, is that there's another big bad guy in Endgame. I think one of the things is there's a box or of something saying, hey, a new threat emerges or something like that. It's vague, but if there was another threat in the galaxy, what do you guys want to see?
Yeah, I agree with them. I'd like to see Doctor Doom as well.
Yeah, Doctor Doom is by far, I think, key to the MCU going forward. They eventually have to introduce him. He fights everybody, man. He'll take on Doctor Strange, Iron Man.
That's more Earthbound, though.
Yeah.
Let's see, more of like a Galactus being universal.
Yeah. Maybe Doom could tie into Black Panther too. You mentioned Galactus.
Yeah.
The one of the things that has been thrown out there is that Galactus being linked to the Power Stone. I can see that. In the Galactus is kind of generic. Don't really do it for me. Yeah, I think what they've failed to do in the past with Galactus is give him any personality. He's an interesting character. It's just you have to have, like, Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four movie was bland as all get out. Norrin Rad should have a personality. He should be torn apart. It should kill him that he's having to go and find planets. And it should also, Galactus, he sends his herald out there for a reason. It's because he doesn't want to consume these planets, but he has to, kind of. Love to see Sentry versus Hulk. Oh, I'd love to see Sentry versus Thor. That would be when he goes dark and starts slipping into the void. Oh, Sentry would be good. I've mentioned that they should do the Shield. The Siege storyline with because right now they're floating. They being the Asgardians are just out there in space. They got to go somewhere. In the Siege storyline, they go to Oklahoma, right? So they end up in Oklahoma, and that's where Norman Osborn comes in. He was, and they've actually talked about a Dark Avengers storyline, getting it scripted. So, I mean. But how do you introduce Sentry though, man? He's so powerful. Basically, the only thing that stops him is when he wants to be stopped. So, Yeah, Fantastic Four 2 was bad.
Was there ever a good Fantastic Four movie?
There were elements that were okay.
In the very first one?
Yeah. They messed up Doom bad in the second reboot. Messed Doom up bad. Go to Norway? That's a good point. Do go and set up shop where Odin turned, where he died or went to Valhalla or whatever in Ragnarok, to go set up there? I'd be cool with that. Introducing.
Wasn't there rumors that like Crossbones was returning as well?
Yeah, he's supposed to be in Endgame somewhere.
So
he dropped some kind of spoiler that he was allegedly in it but came back and said he wasn't or something.
So what about them introducing Kang the Conqueror then? Would that be more?
I would love them to introduce Kang. I would love for them to introduce Annihilation.
Mm-hmm.
Annihilus. And do the Annihilation storyline.
Yeah.
But I could see them doing that later, tying it to the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movies. Maybe make it setting up towards a bigger... Make the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 be feeding into another larger storyline.
It's because I don't see him killing Thanos at all. I see him being around a while.
Even if they they disarm him and he goes back to just being Thanos on the farm, like at the end of Infinity Gauntlet. I mean, I don't think you can kill him off. I mean, that's just if my most recent video is, hey, Gamora decapitated him in Infinity Countdown and Infinity Wars, that series, and yep, he's back anyways. Because why? Because he's Thanos, and that's what he does. That's why. I mean, you can't kill him. Hey, brother, have a good one. Thank you for stopping by. I think we are going to see Adam Warlock. Hey, if y'all haven't, go check out the Black Mandalorian's channel, because he puts up good content. I love his Sith rules. He's going through the Sith principles, and they're really good, man. So definitely go check him out. Subscribe. He does some good content, and he's a good dude. So let's see. Just coming over here to check something real quick. What we got going on now? All right. So let's see. I think we're actually probably going to start having to wind it down. Yeah, I really like Black Mandalorian's channel. I hopped on one of his live streams pretty early, and he's always been a really cool dude. What other? What do you guys think about the Black Widow movie, the prequel, or it's a backstory for it? Are you excited about that, or is it just kind of meh?
I didn't even hear anything about it, honestly.
It's been floated out there. They hired a female director for it, who turned around almost right afterwards and called the MCU sexist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what to think about it right now. I'm hoping it's going to be good, because Black Widow is a character with a lot of depth that they just she's been kind of the glue in a lot of the storylines. You think about Civil War, her decisions in there were critical to the movie. Her deciding to use the Widow Bites on T'Challa instead of turning over Bucky. I mean, She's one of the few people that Steve Rogers trusts. Them kind of right now, her, Falcon, and him doing the Secret Avengers thing. At least they were before Infinity War, going around and defeating terror and whatever. There's actually a few comic books that cover the space between Civil War and the beginning of Infinity War. Talks about how they're like, a lot of that Chitauri tech is getting out, and they're taking it out in Syria and trying to keep people from it falling in the wrong hands. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, Steve Rogers can't, man. He is Peggy Carter all the way. And the scene with not Sarah Carter, that's darn. Where's John Carter? Connor. I'm thinking Connor, John Connor. Sarah Connor. Sarah Carter is Agent 13. That was weird. I don't know if I liked it. But I think he's going to end up going back. I think there's a very real possibility that Captain America gets left back in time. Sharon Carter, yeah, that's it. Where am I? I'm messing up my names now. But
yeah, that was creepy.
Which part?
That's just what Mad Max said. I agree.
Oh.
Wasn't that like her grandma?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's like, hey, you were in love with her great aunt or something during World War II. I don't know. I've thought about what if he does go back in time, and that is if you don't want to kill Captain America, you leave him back in time, and when he comes forward with the regular timeline, you finally you get in a pinch in a future movie. You need a hero, and then suddenly a silver-haired Steve Rogers walks up. I mean, he's older, which works. You do this 10 years from now, and Chris Evans is going to be older. But then you realize that he's still got the super soldier serum, and he's like 120 years old or whatever. But he's here. So that's I don't know. That's maybe a way they can end this and still have a shout out. You think Captain America is going to lift Mjolnir during Endgame? Assuming Mjolnir's back?
Assuming that it's back with the time travel?
Well, I'm thinking time travel, New York, Captain America lifting Mjolnir for some reason, and hitting Thanos with it. I don't know, man. I'm convinced. Like I said, Italian Job meets Back to the Future, plus somebody chasing them through time, which is Thanos. I don't know. It can get crazy.
It can get very crazy. I was just looking at the list of all the people who could come back.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, you got Ultron, Hela.
Hey, I'm telling you, Ultron's coming back. That you cannot take a character like Ultron. He embedded himself in somebody's iPhone and is waiting for it to plug in so he can get back on the internet. I mean, he's supposed to touch everything. You don't just grab him by the head and say, "Oh, you're shutting me out." No, that's not how Ultron works. If there's any Ultron anywhere, he will multiply, he'll recover himself. And that goes back to my whole Doctor Doom thing. I think Doctor Doom should be the one, Latveria is over there helping the, after the incidents of Age of Ultron, he comes in, he actually takes the Ultron bots and later on uses them as Doom bots. But while he's putting them back together, that's where he rediscovers Ultron. But what do I know? Just a simple man trying to make my way in the galaxy.
Just trying to enjoy some Marvel MCU in my life.
That's it. All right. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna have to call it a night. I appreciate everyone coming out. I've had a lot of fun. We are going to try to probably do this again. When are you up for it next time, brother?
Oh, I don't know. Here in a couple weeks, probably.
All right. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot on Dr. Doom. I've been thinking a lot on Dr. Doom, man. I can see it when he finds when Ultron turns on and you just have the black screen and you hear that Ultron voice, just go, oh, there I am. And then you see him slowly like light up and start running the numbers and everything. All right, brother. Have a good one. All right. Hey, Stack Skills, should I send them to your channel to subscribe?
No.
All right,
Don't even
man.
worry about it.
Well, hey, I'm glad we got this figured out.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a whole lot of fun, man. I probably talked too much, but I hope your throat's feeling better. Hope you get to feeling better.
No, it feels like crap.
All right, man. Well, hey, hope you have a good one. And guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this little button down here and see what it does. Have a good one, Mad Max. Thank you for hanging out with us, brother.
Good night, myself. I'll catch you later.
See you, man.